Hello,
Hi,
I'm Amy,
and I'm Matthew.
and we are checking in day 64 of our blood upgrade.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
Yes,
What are you feeling halfway through? How are things going for you?
halfway through. Well, I was just reading someone else posting about this, and usually, so we do this for 4 months. That's how long this blood upgrade is, this protocol. And we do it for 4 months because that is the lifespan of a red blood cell. And so, we are upgrading our whole body, our whole blood. Like, I don't know how to say that better, but um, yeah.
Oh yeah, basically all the blood and the lymph are the two fluids, interstitial fluid as well, but like it's
Hmm.
the whole body is permeated via our blood and resetting all of these red blood cells so that they're not replicating as the so-called zombie cell, and
Yeah.
resetting them as new cells. It's a big thing as you reset that field and you reset the physicality in your bodies, then the body naturally is going to expel, like down a gradient, it'll expel anything that is inauthentic to the body. And that includes frequencies, it includes infiltrations like nanotechnology, fungus, viral, whatever.
Spike proteins,
Spike proteins is a big one.
microplastics, heavy metals, mold. Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
Parasites.
Yeah. And this 2 month marker is when a lot of people, if any, I haven't had anyone quit on us. None of us. None, no one that
Yep.
I know of. But I was reading that the 2 months, if someone does it for 2 months, they usually stick with this for life. And if they can't push through those first 2 months, that's when, yeah. So we've kind of come over the hump, I think, I would say. Right. So, and what I've seen in my clients too is it's been emotional, and
Yep.
nourishing deeply. Like I've
Mm.
been eating less, I have more energy, I feel more creative, I want to do things more. And that's kind of recent. Um, like the cooking thing that would just happen this weekend. That was weird for me.
Highly unusual.
Yes.
The
I,
cooking thing being that she can cook three straight meals, where that doesn't often happen, three straight
uh,
meals in a row. You drink a lot of the shakes and the
yeah.
smoothies and things like that.
Yeah, I
So
don't like making recipes and doing a lot of that stuff, and that requires going to the store. And I don't know, I've just been alone so much and working so much and doing things that I just have simplified my life very. But this it was fun actually, and I was reflecting on this before we did this, of like this story that I've been telling myself for so long of like I hate cooking, I hate, and it's actually like no, I don't think I do. I have fond memories of cooking and making recipes with my grandmother and stuff like that, but for there's so much of my life that was hard and I was sick and just standing was painful, that I have programmed myself to believe that I don't like to cook and I don't like to make things and do things like that for myself. And maybe it's a little bit of like feeling worthy of spending that time on me too.
mm,
So it's been cool to see that shift. It's also been physically, my body has bounced back from things very faster.
mm.
Being affected by mold on vacation. Um, I was affected by mold October, whenever, some other time when I went on left on a different trip too, and that took a lot longer to come back from.
Mm.
And this time it was a lot faster for the brain fog, for me muscle testing if how the mold load was doing. So that was encouraging. So I'm so glad that I had the spray with me on vacation.
Mhm.
Um,
And managing our stress levels as we were traveling back and got
yeah.
stranded at DFW for 48 hours, and the spray for sure helped to regulate a lot of that. It had
Hmm.
very, very fast acting, on the emotions, and kind of like reminiscent of some like really high quality CBDs that I've taken in the past, where it's like, as Amy said, it's like an immediate release of brain fog, or that like the inflammation in the brain that creates that kind of fuzziness in our thinking, and it's
Hmm.
like an irritation in our nervous system. And so it was really helping to manage that.
Yeah.
And
And a lot of
yeah.
times when we're traveling, we're not eating good food and we're not nourishing ourselves. And we weren't either. Like we didn't have space to, we had our superfoods with us and stuff, but this is such a powerful tool for nourishment as well as detoxification. Um, so we always had energy and nutrition with us. So that
Mhm.
was really great too. So what else has happened to me? I do feel like a different level of calmness. Um, it is an interesting, I have been shown different things in my life. Like I've always known that there was something that happened in childhood, and I was shown that, and it's finally been revealed to me. And I think if I wasn't where I was emotionally, physically, mentally, I don't think I could handle what I'm going through right now. And so this is a really beautiful emotional support. Um, but and I think it helped release things too. Like when we say that this opens microcirculation, I mean, if you can visualize this with me, like the light that it's bringing in, like the plant frequencies, is just like pushing this light into areas of our body that has not seen light because we have pushed emotions and toxins and everything into like parts of us. And this is opening things up to let emotions and toxins release. So I think I mean, it is all connected, right?
Well, and so much of
Mm.
that, the way that those energies anchor within our bodies, is through the cellular memory, and the liquid crystal fluid that is in all of the cells, the waters, the sacred waters that are within all of our cells. And so when you're going through a process of literally swapping over all of this fluid and removing the distorted energies, distorted frequencies, then it's the cells, it's them themselves are releasing memory of these traumatic experiences of heartbreaks and disappointments and failures and like all of these things. And it's really coinciding as well as an excellent support mechanism for the energy right now. And this is,
Hmm.
because I can always look at my healing session appointments and track, what people are going through, and it always there are waves that will move through, or I will have, like, if I have 10 appointments, 6 or 7 of those appointments will be working with the same patterns of energies. So it's like as the waves move through our
Hmm.
society, as they move through the world, they're bringing up all of this energy. It's like rising it up to the surface, and this whole product line really is designed specifically to support that type of release and cleansing. And I'm really
Hmm.
seeing that as well with the moving out of the physical detox, which was probably more like the first 3 to 4 weeks. There were like a lot of physical things happening. And then the second set of 4 weeks, it's definitely, there's been a lot of emotion. I've had probably more tears fall in the last 4 to 6 weeks than in the last 4 to 6 months for sure. And maybe even the last 4 to 6 years. It's been kind of raw, but not in like any kind of a negative way. It's not like spiraling me down. It's about
Right.
things moving through and releasing, and then you feel crystalline and clear
Hmm.
afterwards. And yet there's still the physical is still improving. Like I've spoken before about the enamel loss that I'd had on my teeth, and the enamel's almost entirely rebuilt on those areas, those spots where it had degenerated. And I don't have any real level of tooth sensitivity at all. That before it was like lit up, around these areas that would be cavities, and then arthritis type pain, inflammation. I'm not experiencing that really anywhere in my body. And I mean, my body has been through a lot. Like I played college football. Like I've had countless head injuries and impact injuries, and all sorts of things, and my body feels really great. It feels really like I did like in my early mid 30s actually.
Hmm.
And I'm about to be 49 this summer. And I pay no
Mm.
attention hardly anymore. But yeah, for sure I feel at least 10 years younger, maybe 15 years younger in my
Mm.
body right now. And which is great. That's, hey, bonus.
Yeah, I mean, we had long days of travel and it didn't really,
Yeah,
we did great. I
did
didn't,
great. Yeah.
never felt like exhausted or, I mean, there was definitely some things happening in the background, but uh, it is wild, like how much energy. And I have some older clients, like over 70 and 80 on this stuff, and they are thriving. And that's the first thing that they're seeing is that they have this a lot of energy,
Yeah.
waking up just like ready to go and being able to do all these things. And when you look at that, like there's a lot of people that think like stepping into a process like this is going to cost so much money, and there's these limiting beliefs about what they can spend on this, but like it's priceless to
Yeah.
invest in yourself. You get all this energy back, you get your day back, you get your life back. Like you're able to create more. So it really it pays for itself in the long run. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the most amazing. I mean, if you're going through something awesome, and if you're not, like the most amazing preventative care that you
Yeah.
could do for yourself, like cleaning the one fluid that feeds you.
Yeah. I mean, it's making me think of I have a dear friend whom has been on the protocol now for like a month and has struggled for several years with pretty serious lung situation. Like diagnosis is going to be like a COPD and emphysema type of situation. And this person requires oxygen a lot of times on days when like the pollen count is high or the wind is blowing and the dust is all up,
Mm,
and lack of vitality and energy, and watching them transform to the point
mm,
where we're being told that this is the first thing ever that has helped, and
mm,
is providing liberation out of that dependency on the oxygen. And like every time that we're together, there is vitality in the skin and in the face, and there's energy and there's
mm,
oxygenation, and it's just, and then also they're coughing up a lot of stuff. It's like functioning as an expectorant to bring the damage out of the lungs. And
mhm,
I mean, that is, it's literally their life, is being handed back. And um, yeah, really just there's so many testimonials like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And both of us are blessed in that we're not facing serious medical situation or anything like that. But yeah, the overall shift, it's for sure noticeable. The eye revive cream, loving it. Yeah, I've been applying it into my scalp, and
Mhm,
it's like I've had people telling me that, hey, you look like you've got more hair, and which it's great. The stem cell production really works,
mhm,
and
mhm,
is revitalizing for the skin and for the body. And yeah, I had an ear situation while we were on vacation where due to these head injuries, I've had trouble clearing my right ear for many years, and I've been ever since I became a scuba diver. And but when you're scuba diving, you can equalize very easily by just going a little slower as you descend to equalize the pressure, the water pressure. And we had this after my dives. We had this moment where we went snorkeling with our friends, and Amy and I walked down the beach and snorkeled out to meet our friends who had kayaked over to the mooring buoy at the dive site or the snorkeling site. And right when we arrived, after swimming about 200 meters out to them, right when we arrived, I hear, Matthew, she dropped her mask. And I look underwater, and I just saw something dropping, and I tried to like duck dive, and there was no way I was going to get there in time. And we had just swum 200 meters, so I was tired. And so we came back and did got my breath back and calmed my heart rate, and then I free dived down about 35 or 40 feet. It was actually her phone in a protective case and her fins, and I was able to recover the phone, but the last few feet of diving down, I couldn't keep up with the equalizing in my ears, and there was like intense pressure. And got back to the surface, and over the next now week and a little bit over a week and a
Mm-hmm.
half, I I began using, they're obviously still using the spray, but I kind of doubled up the amount of the eye revive that I was applying, because like I've been applying it in front of my ear and behind my ear and then in the ear and then down my eustachian tube, just to help in general, because I know that there's old trauma. And so I've been like doubling that up, and on both sides, but and then combined with some really well-timed craniosacral therapy that I had already scheduled. And I can feel things changing inside the structure here, and combined with that cranial work to provide a little bit more space inside the head. It's like things are recalibrated, and like my hearing is pretty much back, and no real pressure issues at all. And so I know that stem cell production is really helping to heal and rebalance. And so
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of examples of things like these that it
Yeah.
really kind of comes in.
The examples I'd want to share too are like clients that I've been working with for over a year, long-term clients. We do monthly check-ins where I muscle test their protocols every month and see what we need to order, da, da, da. And they're they were using just, I mean, it's whole food supplementation, but they were needing a lot of different herbs and stuff to manage different inflammations and to find the balance. And month one, there were some of my clients that were knocking a couple off. And month two, we just did a check in with one of my other ones, and more of the nutrients were dropping off. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that's powerful. So, this is replacing these handfuls of herbs that we were having to do. And that feels good. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
as many either, like things that I were normally taking, just to supplement, because we don't get what we need from our food, um, is needed. So this investment is saving me money in the long
Hmm.
run, and saving a lot of my clients money in the long run. And that's the goal, is to regenerate. Like, we don't need to be on all of these things. We should be able to give the body tools, give the body the right nutrients, and its healing abilities will turn on. But we have to remove the junk and the lower vibrational bullshit so that it can function in the way that it's meant to
Yeah.
be. So it's a really beautiful to witness everyone thriving, and some people might not see anything right yet. Sometimes it's working deeper. I
Hmm.
am waiting for my dad. I'm like, what's my dad gonna watch? I'm waiting for my dad to have any kind of detox, but so far it's smooth sailing. Like, my mom had a big week of really feeling like she's got the flu or something, but we're muscle testing. It's the body doing exactly what it needs to do, and it's getting it out. And sometimes the healing is not fun, but then she's thriving, and there's things that are dropping off for her, and it's just so worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
my what he's 90. I have a client that's over 90, a couple, they're so cute, and I've been working with them, and he's slowly declining, and that's a natural part of life. But him and his wife and I were chatting about how amazing it is that he's been on this protocol and superfoods and the stuff that we've been doing together for over a year now, because she's like, I couldn't imagine him if we didn't have you,
Hmm.
Amy, if we didn't have this stuff that we're doing right now, like how hard it would be for him. And that's the goal, is like we're doing this so that we have a life that without suffering, a life that we don't have to just roll over and be like, oh, this is just part of aging.
Yeah.
Like, we get to thrive our entire lives. We
And
are,
as you heal the telomeres,
yeah.
that life gets longer
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
You know.
And that is one of the things that happens with this, is that our telomeres are longer. And those telomeres are like those little end caps to our DNA. And when they're shortened, that's as we age, like
Yeah.
that's aging,
Yeah,
right?
no more cell replication. It
Hmm.
limits the telomere, limits the amount of times that the cell can replicate and reproduce. And when the cell replication ends, when the telomere hits the end of its line there, then tissues begin to die. They're not able to replicate, and so that's the end. And so this is literally life extension
Hmm.
technology.
And this
Um,
is reverse aging,
yeah,
really. So, yeah, it's been a really amazing journey. Um, and even more, I'm just filled with gratitude that for the people that have tried it with us, because it's been really beautiful to witness.
yeah. Looking forward to the next 2 months and seeing what happens.
Yes. So if you are thinking about this and you've been watching, I've been pulling together more materials so that you're so supported. I just created a document with that kind of explains the pricing a little better. It's a little tricky, not really, but um, I want you to get the best deal and make your money go for this. So there's a couple different ways to come in at this. So that's kind of laid out, and there's some information about why. And we always have calls on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time if you ever want to come to one of those. Or Sunday night is a really amazing call where there's like 550 people on these calls at Sunday night. And like they share a little bit about what these products are, and then it's just everyone, all these testimonials. And
Outrageous testimonials, like
yeah.
people that are having incredible healing. I mean, like, Western medicine would look at this and say that's a miracle. And we've heard these where like people go to their doctors and the doctors are like, I don't know what you're doing, but don't stop, keep doing it,
Hmm.
and it's
Or
because
dentists too.
yeah, dentists for sure.
Yeah,
And
so
so, yeah,
coming to a call and kind of feeling the energy and feeling what's possible. And it's been awesome to continue to come to the calls even after we've started, because you watch the people that are progressively getting better
mhm,
to
yeah,
keep coming on, and they're sharing different things. It's amazing. So yeah.
yay. Thank you
So
so much. And yeah, if you want to join us on the journey, hit us up, let us know. We'd love to support you as well and to watch this progress and watch these things move through your lives as well.
yeah, everyone needs some a little support right now.
A
I feel
lot of
like every
support.
time you run into someone, it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
And like we can support that with deep, deep nutrition. And that's what this is. This is an amazingly easy nutrition in your pocket. So
Awesome.
thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.